Hi, it's Sandy from lusciouslife.com, and this is Tea Time Behind the Curtain, where I give you a little behind the scenes peek on what's going on in my life and in my business. And today I decided, since it's my last episode of Behind the Curtain for the year, I thought I'd have a little holiday celebration and record this in front of which way do I want to go? My Christmas tree. I'm very happy. It's very pretty, and this time of year I tend to move my office onto the couch just so that I can be in the glow of all the pretty lights, and it's just something that makes me really happy. So I hope that you're finding your little corner of beauty as the year winds down in whatever way that looks for you. For me right now, it's sitting in front of my tree, chatting with you, and having not tea today, but hot spiced cider. It's not spiked, that will come later, but it's sweet and it's warm and there's lots of cinnamon and just kind of puts me in the mood for the year-end wind down. So, yeah, I can just really feel like I am settling in and wanting to get quiet and go into the dark time. You know, the solstice is coming up this weekend, and that's always a really profound time of reflection for me to kind of assess, like, what's this year been about, and where am I now, and not only what's been accomplished, but what have I learned and what awarenesses am I living with now, and what's really important as I move forward and we move into the light returning. So how do you wind down your year? Do you have any special rituals? Is there anything that you tend to do to honor the season and all of that, or are you pretty, like, you know, kind of just doing the normal thing? It's like both of those are completely valid and wonderful, as long as they're the ones that best serve you. So yeah, so happy year-end holiday, whatever that means to you. For many of us, it involves presents and lights and trees, and for others, it involves menorahs, and for others, it involves other sacred rituals. And that's one of the things I really love about this time of year, is how it really does encapsulate celebration, regardless of so many different differences. It seems like so many of us have something that happens this time of year that brings us together, hopefully, and brings us presents too. Presents are always great. And if it's not your favorite time of year, if it's a time of year that brings some heaviness with it, my wish for you is that you find some quiet, peaceful place in your heart where you can let in just a crack of light, maybe just even a crack of light. The light that's waiting for you in the darkness. I really do believe that when we allow ourselves to go into the darker places, whether it's weather darkness or seasonal darkness, or the more challenging personal dark places, when we allow ourselves to go in and ask for support if we need it, but allow ourselves to just enter in and just feel into what's there, there's something about that recognition that tends to lighten things. So my wish for you, in whatever way that you celebrate, is to allow that little crack of light in. So for me this year, there's been a lot of things that have happened. I ran my first ever e-course at the beginning of the year called Finding Your Wild Wonder, and the content of that is really speaking to me again. So I'm not sure if I'll run the course again in the same form or morph it in some way, but there's something about finding that wild wonder energy inside of us that is really speaking to me right now. So I did that, and I started these videos, and just so you know, I do have a little cheat sheet here. I started doing these videos, which has been such a joy, and I'm so thankful that you decide to watch them and take some time out with me. I discovered human design this year, and I'm now doing human design readings, and that's just kind of revolutionized the way that I relate to myself and my energy and how I move through the world. I started using the moon as a guide. I decided to pay a lot more attention to the planets moving, and just as a way to kind of alleviate some of my overwhelm and my self-doubt around when I should do what. And I just said, I'm just going to give it to the universe, like literally let the planets decide for me. And what I've settled on in the last few months is the moon. It's the most accessible. I can look up in the sky every night and see where she is in her cycle. And there's something that's been very grounding for me about that. So I've taken on the practice to really following the moon and doing a new moon little tiny ritual where I create a beautiful collage of just whatever energy is present for me, and that's been really, really a lovely practice. Do you have any practices that you do just like throughout the year to keep you in sync with your energy or with the energy around you? You might want to see if something sounds fun. It's just kind of it's fun to experiment with that sort of stuff. What else have I done this year? I know there's lots of things. I grew strawberries for the first time, and they were wonderful. And actually, I was getting fresh strawberries until, gosh, the beginning of November. It was kind of crazy. And let's see, just looking at my notes. I did a guest post for the magical, brilliant Amy Palko. I am doing the equally magical and brilliant in her own way, Chris Oster's personal legend workshop based on The Alchemist that I talked about a little bit last week. So I'm in this very wonderful kind of expressing and discovering mode, and it's actually one of my favorite modes to be in. So I think those are the highlights for me right now. What are your highlights? What are your highlights in your life right now? What are your highlights from the year? How do you want to capture those for yourself? Over the next bit of time, carve out a little space for yourself to just settle in and reflect, even if it's just a simple list or just a simple kind of daydreamy kind of casting back over your year and seeing what happened, and before all the energy goes into marching into the new year. So I think that's it for me. Again, thank you for being on this video journey with me. I wish you the warmest, happiest, most love-filled year end, and I look forward to reconnecting again after the first of the year. So take care, blessings, and I'll see you soon.